Sometimes it is our perceptions about God that keep us from experiencing it, that keep us from experiencing it, that keep us from experiencing it.
I am the one watching, looking for the changes in the color of the water that makes up the sea. It moves the white sand up and back. I think it makes the mountains move. I am the one watching, out for the violent interdictions, born out of the frustrated river, trying to recarve a path through the city, the clash of nature in search of the man. I am the one watching, two cats in the bar that run from the clubbers to the wild hill, leaving people to react and reassess how they pace themselves in the world. I am the one watching, the measuring cup with flour and milk, a level eye to coincide with combustion, creating pancakes topped with tree sap from the land I am in and tender. I am the one watching, red slate steps, heat in the sun, a sun that twists every endeavor. Its halting light feeds, then hides what can be seen, what we cannot underestimate. I am the one watching, friends gathering at the bleak cafe. Their murmurs, boasts and number crunching, churn the motion of commercial interests. On to one another, sharks on fish. I am the one watching, caterpillars turn, morph and fly, slowly despite the speed in which we pause, a scarce but essential commodity. The fly feeds on the hummingbird's jealousies. I am the one watching, a building rise from ashes and old timber, changing the patterns of pedestrians, accommodating the hardy men in hard hats, watching the crane next to the mountains, built for their proximity to the sea. I am watching.
I think that we're all in agreement that where you can take ego out, you can find a lot more peace and happiness and harmony. And that's probably what is getting in the way of a lot of people is, certainly I can really relate to the fundamentalist Christian side of it because my future in-law family is very Christian with some closed-minded ideas, which makes holidays, etc., very interesting. I bite my tongue a lot. But I also work as a hired-in musician for another fundamentalist Christian organization, and I think to myself, Jesus really likes high-end audio, and it's really amazing to me because I'm looking at this multi-million-dollar facility with all the bells and whistles and the best of everything, and there's a Christmas play going on, and every single actor, whether they're just a small role or a large role, has these cordless mics, which are, I know they cost at least $500-600 a pop, and I'm wondering, wow, all of this money, and why was it raised, and how was it raised, and in what name was it raised? And to me, I agree that that sense of community is super important to some people, to feel that sense of community, and it's really great for some. But I also have to put that little question mark in there, which is they wanted to build this church so they could do better, so they could do more work in the hands of God and in the eyes of Christ. Yet, why couldn't they have sent that $3,000 to the mustard seed to feed families for that much longer, or to put that money towards some housing projects so that people who have less can have a place to sleep and a safe home? And so I kind of see the business of God versus the community, and I see the good in both, and I see the intent in both. And it is a very old adage that the road to hell was paved with good intentions, and that is something also to keep in mind.
I would agree. The sad thing about, American Christianity, evangelical Christianity, is a lot of the church's theology seems to be based more on materialism and conservative politics than the Gospels. So much time is spent on issues like abortion and seeing gay marriage as a threat to marriage, which I find personally ridiculous. And what's been forgotten is, to love your neighbor as yourself. And for people who are awfully concerned about heaven and hell, they don't really look at where the only places where the gospel addresses that, which is when Jesus gave the parable of the sheep and the goats. Basically, who got into heaven? You fed me, you clothed me, you visited me in prison, you gave me clothes when I was naked. And the other ones asked, when didn't I do that? Anytime that you didn't do it to me, you didn't do it to your brethren. It's as if you did it to me. And sadly, I think that if Jesus should return and walk through a door of a lot of churches, he'd get thrown out very quickly, because it's about the material aspects of the community like you're talking about.
That's actually one of the things that I love about the Star of the Sea, where I'm going to church now, is that I don't believe that is true in that case. It's really welcome to everyone, and it's a really good church in that regard. They take up a collection, yacht club, through women's organizations, etc., for the food bank that they run, and they feed several hundred people every week, that don't have anything, that are right here in Sausalito.